I really like Dylan Cousins, by the way.
Yeah, he
Good
looks
player for
good.
Buffalo. Real good player.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they had like other players surrounding him. But
The
like,
new hope.
They'll,
we'll work on that.
I don't hate the way Buffalo are going, to be honest. I
No,
don't hate it.
no, but they just have no expectations.
But it's good that there is a sense of the difference we see right now with the Sabres compared to years past is they kind of have an attitude of we can actually win a game. It took nearly like 6-7 years to wipe away that culture of we're completely out of games 5 minutes in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And it's kind of crazy when you thought back to that Dylan Cousins thing. It was like, I want to be a difference maker. And you're like, kid, let's see how long it lasts. But, man, you know what? Even if they finish the season on like a terrible record and whatever, I think what they did to start the year in that nice little run, and then we'll see what happens when guys like Tuck come in. I think it's really good for them. I think that's going to be, I think there's a lot to like in Buffalo land right now.
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
I think the way they're playing, it's like what you said. Like, there's no expectations whatsoever in a way that they have nothing to lose. So they're just gonna go out there and play, get the experience for especially for the young guys. Where there's one player I think it was like Casey Middlestat is, not exactly a Will Christophilus like hyped up type of guy that we all expected in 2018, but he's been okay. I think that's just one example. Or, oh my gosh, his name is escaping me. I say his name like almost every episode. Tage Thompson.
Rasmus Appa.
There it is. Yeah, he's getting into his own right now.
The thing with Buffalo, and it makes me not weary. It's just like we've had this. We've done this before. We've had this conversation when they drafted Jack Eichel. When they they got the consolation prize, but it was still, wow, we just got Jack Eichel plus all the surrounding pieces. They go out and get Jeff Skinner. That works for a year. They overpay him. And now we're in this situation. So it's just a matter of they have to, it's not on the players that again, none of this really should be on the players. It's like, there's no team. There was no team. So they just have to keep the momentum that management has kind of put in front of them in terms of, okay, we have no expectations. Whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. But eventually there's going to be expectations.
Yeah, for sure. I think that you have to create something, like some semblance of sustainability there. And the way I look at it is if I'm Owen Power and I haven't signed yet, I'm going to see how long I'm going to play in the NCAA. He's a social media guy. He's born in this era. He knew what went on with Jack Eichel, with what the team was trying to do last year, with getting all those acquisitions and trying to do something that didn't work. So I think that's something too. Just, you have these future guys that are coming in, guys who are developing right now, and you want to kind of show this is something that we could build here. It's not just going to be like how it used to be.
Well, it helps when you don't have a GM that's snobby about the fact you got Eichel and not McDavid. If say what you want about Kevin Adams, at least publicly, he's he's clearly trying to build something there. As well as how that Eichel situation was handled, and that was clearly not just him pulling the strings, obviously. Listen, I just like what they have there. I like what I see early from Buffalo. Not purely a standings point, but at the lowest level right now, you just got to get the culture in place, right? That's the most important thing for Buffalo. Right. And, listen, the expectations are clearly not there now, as you say, because no one's going to games. But listen, and those are far off, and we will see what happens by the time that those roll around. But I will say this, Dylan Cousins seems like the kind of guy that's going to be leading the charge there. From UConn, as everyone mentions every time he plays.
As long as they don't rush it, I think that's what they did the first time around with Botterill, and then with Eichel, is I think they rushed it in saying, well, I think we're better than what people expect. And then they kind of made that Jeff Skinner move and other moves around it. And it just didn't work out. So let the players guide you in a way. Don't try to rush things along. That's what they did wrong the first time.
There was never, when I look at those two different eras, that there was never a what you said, Alex, a balanced approach to things where you look at how they were entering the 2010s, and they lost Chris Drury and Daniel Briere, and then Thomas Vanek was traded, and then Ryan Miller was getting older, so they just figured let's add more hefty contracts to this already aging core and try to do something, and then that didn't work, and then they go to a rebuild that there was no guidance whatsoever to it other than Jack Eichel.